Hey, what's up everyone? I thought it'd be a fun video to make, me showing you, giving you a quick little tour, I guess MTV Cribs style, of the Chariots that we happen to be staying in for the next couple of months. So I've been in it for about a month now, so I know a little bit more about it. I'm not, posing as a Prevost expert, but I did want to show you Scott's and Dave's, the different types of buses here. I guess converted buses to, we don't call them RVs, we call them motor coaches because they are in a different class. And it really has been such a great experience. So I wanted to take you through what I know, which is very little, and share with you kind of my experience of living in one for a month. And I still have another month and a half to go, and give you a quick little tour and show you what's doing on it. So let's go inside and I'll talk to you about what I've discovered thus far. Man, the weather's beautiful. It's a little windy, but it's beautiful. So this is Scott's, the Dryce Man's. This is a coach that he's owned, I think, 3 different times. It's really close. This is an 06. Both of these are 06s. The style has a little bit of that kind of Vegas early 2000s feel, but he's probably gonna, if he keeps it, I mean, these things, everything Scott owns is always for sale. If you got $600K, you want to buy it, you could buy it from him, but he keeps this thing really, really well maintained. No shoes in the coach, and the style of it's really close. I'll show you some of the things that he had suggested maybe he may end up doing, getting rid of some of the mirrors and stuff like that. But from what I understand, there are 2 different versions of a Prevost. It's written Prevost, but I think we say Prevost. There's the H3. These are both 45 footers, and there's the XL2. And we'll show you the basement or the compartments. But the H3 is the taller version where the living quarters are up a few steps from the driving area. So let's go in and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I have a little microfiber towel, so you get a little dust. I can always dust off the marble and keep it ready to go. So come on in. So I'm not driving the thing anywhere. You can see I've got my microfiber towel sitting on the chair. We have it leveled and sitting in position, but I think there's air ride suspension on it, so they air it down and then get it level so it's nice and comfortable. We have the exterior camera where I can see if anybody's casing the joint. Last night I almost got I walked right into a little black bear, so we'll see how it goes. But we're actually staying in Mims, Florida here at the Adam LZ compound. So you can see the style of this thing, it's actually pretty nice. I mean, the mirrors and stuff and the zebra prints are something I think Scott would probably change. But the really remarkable thing about having stayed in here, Drift HQ is right here. They're drifting at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. I can't hear it. I've been working out in the garage over there and dropping weights from overhead. Mike can't hear the music playing or the weights dropping. And so that, I think, is the real big difference between a coach and an RV experience. I mean, I am in here and I could be anywhere. I could be on the beach. I could be in Montana. We're here in Central Florida in the swamp area of East Orlando, and you can't tell. But the really cool thing about this whole thing is the shades. They're all motorized, powered shades where you can I close them all and disappear. All the windows are tinted, but I have noticed that I haven't really found the need, because we were basically coming in here at night. I haven't found the need to put the shades up. But Scott has done, most of this has been LED converted, but the way you purchase these things, which I've learned about all this stuff from Scott telling me, and I kind of went and did a little bit of research, been watching some videos on them. The shell is sent to one of, I think, 6 different converters. This is a Featherlight. So Featherlight was the converter on this one back in 06. So I think the shell shows up at Featherlight in so the shell has a model year, the conversion has a model year, the engine has a model year, but this is technically classified as delivered in 2006. As you can tell, this one's been really, really well maintained. But this is one I think you can spec out. Do you do the bump outs or pop outs or whatever the heck they call them, where it extends out? And some people that travel a lot, from what I understand, they don't choose the bump out. So if you're on the road a lot, versus if you're parked a lot. If you're on a road a lot, I don't think you want that extra, that extra weight, that extra mechanical part, because if you're just kind of pulling off of the side and traveling a ton, I think people don't purchase the bump outs. But there's one bump out here, and then there's another bump out in the master, or the bedroom. All of the other thing I noticed, that all of the drawers, they lock by pushing in the tab, and then the drawers stay closed. Everything in here is just so well thought out. But imagine it has to not flex. I mean, this is marble flooring. I mean, it has to not flex with the chassis. So the chassis has to be stiff enough, but yet everything has to stay in position when you're driving down the road. It's just really remarkable. I think Scott says it's like 80 or 90,000 miles, but these things are built for a million miles or million-mile machines. So what I've been doing is kind of doing my meetings here. I've been sitting here doing Zoom meetings, and I'm still running the business even though I'm living here, working on this remodel project. I've had several different business meetings here with people coming to see me. I did a deal on a new polishing system, and Mike Walba and I sat talking about the future of our media department and how we're headed there. And I just met with Bryce and Tommy about built hamber and press hull bottles and what we're doing with that stuff. But I've been able to kind of fully operate and live in here, so I brought some of my own silverware, but Scott has it all set up with flatware and then plates and stuff down here, and then this is the cooktop. And so I've been making eggs, and I bought actually this was Scott's, but I've been washing dishes. I'll show you outside how we dump water. So we haven't been creating black water, if you will. So there's two types of, you have the water tank. I think it's about a 200-gallon tank, and then you have gray water, black water. So the gray water is stuff from the sink and the shower. I've been showering in here and just filling up the tank. We don't have a sewer hookup, and so I'm just kind of building up the black water tank, and I guess we'll go dump that later. But trying not to do number twos in the old Prevost. We do that out in the pool bathroom here. So, but I have my setup here. I got all my supplements and protein and all the stuff set up so I get to live comfortably. I got my protein stuff here, some beef jerky, Bounty paper towels. Been keeping it nice and clean. I vacuum the floor, once every couple of days. It has, ample storage I've got my GoPros and my cameras and everything in here. And then I have the fridge stocked with meats and cheeses, some eggs and milk. I got some steaks. I got a Snake River Farms delivery coming tomorrow to stock up on my steak stuff. But we have, I'm able to kind of live and function here while I'm out here doing this project. Some more storage here. I bought some hand towels, and I've got some storage containers and stuff. It's going to take us a semi to take all the stuff home, because every time we come here, I bring another truckload worth of stuff. So some of these, I think you can spec it, and you can spec these and convert these however you want, but some of them will have bunk beds on the side. This one has full shower, full water closet, so full bathroom. And again, the style of this one is pretty close. I mean, I think you take the mirrors off of and maybe change some of this print. So for 10, 20,000 bucks, I think you could come in here and make this thing brand new, modern feeling. It feels brand new. A slightly wider queen size bed, so it's a little shorter, I believe a little wider, so it has a custom mattress with storage overhead. I've been living the dream in here. Ceiling fan, which is awesome. I like the sleeveless ceiling fan. And then I have all my stuff. I brought my scale, keep track of my weight, make sure I'm not getting too chubby here while I'm doing this manual labor. I got some shirts, my shoes. This actually has full laundry as well. So behind here, I don't know if we can sneak all the way back here, but I have a washer and dryer. And so I've got a really nice setup. I use this a bunch. This does rifle through a ton of water. So I try not to use that if I can, take the laundry home, or we've been going home on the weekends. And then you have, I've kind of been able to figure out the system and monitor it. And so here is where we actually have 4 air conditioning units We have a 50 amp circuit run to the house, back to the breaker box, and so you can only run 2 units at a time. So I've been running the air conditioning unit back here, and then one of the mid units, and it's kept the temperature great. And then there's diesel supplemental heat, so I have that set to 66, and the temperature here set to 70, and it's maintained temp like perfectly. You know, the other thing Scott and I may do in the future is maybe we may update and upgrade. It has Bose and like what was state of the art in '06. But, you know, now with streaming, it's all DVD based, and what was, I believe, satellite based. And so there's also Control 4. The Control 4 system is back here. I haven't really been using any of that stuff because we've been working. So you have your Control 4 brain and your satellite TV and all that stuff, which, again, it's not really, I don't know if they have it connected. They also have Verizon wireless, a cell wireless connectivity here, and then I've got the little Dyson that I've been, you know, sweeping the floors with. But anyway, I'm running the 2 AC units, so you run it here, and I just, you know, turn it off, set my temperature, and then this is where you see what your water tank levels are. I'll show you that on the outside, how we fill up. This is our black, and that's our gray water. So I've, you know, got plenty of capacity, and then you have all the controls everywhere. The neat thing about the controls, I've basically been controlling everything from here, where, you know, if I wanted to turn all the lights off, I just hit the master lights when I'm laying down here, and it turns every light off in the place. And then you can also turn off the panel lights. Otherwise, you have those, you know, these panel little control switches all over the darn place. It's pretty remarkable how this whole system works, and that you're dealing with AC to DC conversion and vice versa. So you have everything you need to have in a car, everything you need to have in a home, all in one spot, and everything needs to be sturdy, and the chassis needs to be stiff enough that you aren't breaking tile and the thing isn't falling apart every time you pull into a driveway or something like that. It's pretty wild how sophisticated something like this is. And so I was looking on, you know, some like Marathons and Featherlights. I mean, a coach like this is today like $2.9 million. It's insane, depending on how you outfit it. And you could probably even spend more than that. And so, you know, not that anyone is feeling bad for me, but I think we're living out here doing this project, and Scott was kind enough to lend this to me. Like, I didn't buy this, just lend it to me. And it's been such a great experience to kind of hang out and sit here. And I think this turns out into a bed as well if you wanted it to. But I've been able to just relax and enjoy as much as I can the experience. We also have a grill and everything outside in the outdoor pool house. And we did have water and stuff at the pool house, but we've repiped the home, and so we no longer have water. But let me show you the basement and how you can see the level change here on the H3. So I'm not sure which one I like better. I feel like this one doesn't feel quite as open and tall as the XL2, which I'll show you here in a minute, and we'll show you Dave's version. But this, you know, the style of this, the feel, it feels like, you know, after being in here for a month, it feels kind of like my second home here. So let's go check outside and show you some of the things that I've had to figure out. So Scott was telling me, and you know, the research I was doing, I mean, this is the one, I think you can fit like a golf cart inside of some of these things if you have a specialized golf cart. But the H3 version has the much taller, much bigger basement. And so you can see you have full height capability. I've actually seen one of these custom made where they put a darn GT3 in here where it came out, it slid out. So you have all the storage capability in the basement of the H3 versus the XL2 next door. And so I've got all my mountain biking stuff here and brought some, you know, extra detailing stuff. I got my suitcases and things. There's also a diesel generator. So there's battery, generator, and then of course you can hook up. You can hook up to a 50 amp circuit. You need a specific, you know, 50 amp capability in order to get, you know, full output from this. I haven't looked into some of these. What are in these ones? Oh, this was an outdoor refrigerator. So you have an outdoor fridge, freezer thingy. You can choose which one you want it to be. This here is, I believe, our inverter. So I think that this is where all of your power happens. And then one of the things we've been considering doing, part of the reason why I wanted to stay in this thing, this is our generator here, so the generator's there, but what I want to figure out, this one also has a power awning that comes out with LED lighting that lights up. These things do require quite a bit of maintenance. When you're on the road, you're needing tools and things like that. And so I think what we're going to figure out is how to do some sort of pull-out system with like sonic tools with all the foam inlays. So I'm excited to pursue that at some point here. Before I leave this, I'm going to draw something up and then work with Sonic and see if we can figure out a way to build a toolbox into the one of these compartments here that pushes back in place and can pull out. And then if we can develop that and sell it to the other Prevost owners, it'll help me, continue to stay in business, I guess. The other thing we'd like to do is I want to build a silenced Krenslow pressure washing system. And so we're thinking about putting it in the sort of the engine compartment here. We have some room right there. We have power, and then I think we can also get water to here as well. Where imagine that we had it where it was silenced. It was in a shroud. You pull the hose reel out, and then you could clean the coach, clean the side of it. These 06s, I think these, from what I understand, these 06s are preferred by some people because these have Detroit. What is it, Detroit? I forget what. Is it just called the Detroit diesel engine? The new ones have the Volvo, or they require DEF and other emissions things that make the engine, I think, not quite as reliable. But the engine in this sucker is, again, they're million-mile machines. So what I've been doing is being very cognizant of what I'm using for gray water and dumping it in the drainage field here. So I've been dumping the gray, not the black, and then filling up with the hose. And so we had to figure out how to do that. It's pretty simple. Here's where all of our water station is. They're so darn clever on these things. They have a little spigot or a little showering thing on the side here. They have a soap dispenser and a paper towel dispenser for when you get poo on your hands. What we do is we take this hose, connect it down here, turn the pump on, and it will pump out the water, the gray water, and then I hook up a hose down here to this hose outlet and you fill up the tank. And then we also have a indicator of what our gray, black, and free water is. I don't know what's going on here because Blackwater says 0. I don't know. I didn't dump it. It was at 40%. Did it evaporate? Maybe the sensor turned off? I don't know, but I'm at 70% water, 40% gray. I don't know. But anyway, that's how I've been maintaining and managing that. So that's Scott's. I don't know as much about the XL2, but let's go give you a quick little tour of Dave's machine. So Mike's been staying in Dave's. So, but look at this thing. They're 13 feet and change tall, 45 feet long. What are they, like 55,000 pounds? I think they get 4 to 6 miles per gallon. So not the most efficient vehicles. But I'm telling you, the living experience has been pretty amazing. It takes something like this job that can be really daunting, and it's made it a very livable, sort of semi-enjoyable experience because I've been able to stay in something cool like this and get to experience what this life is like. So the XL2s, from what I understand and watching some of the videos and learning about it, they all have the stainless steel side plating. And this one has a much more, even though these were built in the exact same year, this one is like an older style. You know, you have to remember that a lot of these things are purchased by older retiree types. And so this one has sort of like that Aztec looking style. But you can see, I don't know if these are locked, these compartments are quite a bit lower. You know, so this one has the fridge and freezer, has some Paradigm speakers, because you would, you know, put the awnings out the side when you're camped out and hanging out with your buddies. And so that's what's neat about, you know, these units. They have all kinds of stuff to help you entertain. I think this is some of the water pump stuff here. Yeah, this is where the Grundfos pump is, how the water's dealt with. But the basement on this, and this is a marathon coach. So again, shell comes out of the Prevost factory. It's a bus shell, and it goes to one of the converters. You hire the converter, or you go buy a, you know, pre-spec'd or pre-built coach, and the converters do all of the converting to basically a house on wheels. But this particular unit has storage, and plenty of it, but just not quite as much as the other. And so when you look underneath here, you can see that the basement area is not nearly as accessible as it is in the H3 version. So let's take a look at Dave's coach. So Dave's is for sale if you want to buy it. Dave's is for sale for $500K. Now this one has a much more particular sort of Aztec look and style to it. Hey everyone, I want to interrupt this video. I know many of you are first-time viewers. We have lots of new people watching videos because of this crazy project we're doing here at the LZ compound. For those of you who don't know, I'm the garage guy. You know, it's called Obsessed Garage for a reason. The garage is the anchor of the obsession for me. To me, the house is attached to the garage. I don't get to check the obsession at the door when I walk into it. But we do these giveaways periodically where I've done some cars, we've done a garage before. Basically how it works is click the link in the description, go to obsessedgarage.com. Every dollar you spend, you get an entry and you get a chance to win a giveaway of a garage. What you win is two options. One option is we fly you to OGHQ, we design your garage with you, and we full 3D render. You get to choose all the products that you'd like to have in there, and Kyle and team, the design team, will help you set it up and lay it out. We order all the product. Mike and I are going to fly to your town for as long as it takes, and we're going to revamp your garage, maybe even change your life a little bit, and build this amazing masterpiece. If for some reason you didn't have a garage, you get $50K. I'll write you a check, send it in the mail, and so you still have an out if you are younger, and or you maybe have an apartment and you don't have a garage yet. Maybe that $50K would get you, you know, the down payment on a house to get your garage someday. But anyway, I'd love it if you consider going to obsessedgarage.com and participating. We need your support so we can keep doing these crazy projects like this. You see the difference. We're on height or on grade, whatever you want to say it, where the driver is on the same plane as the, you know, as your passengers, or as the, you know, the main living quarters. But this one, to me, I mean, the ceiling height is, you know, virtually identical. But this one, to me, does in many ways feels a bit more open. You can see the kitchen, like the H3's full-size fridge is kind of in the hallway, and then this one has kind of a sectioned off kitchen, and then you have a separate bathroom with the water closet. So it feels to me more like a, you know, like a normal, like I guess be like a mobile home or something like that. And then you have your sort of segregated master bedroom here. And then there's a closet in the back, closet door. I think it's an air controlled. That's pretty cool. It's wild. So unnecessary to have that, but so cool nonetheless. And so this unit is all Crestron controlled. So again, these were built at the same time, and then they chose, to me, this one feels like a, you know, like it would be a few years older, but they're just style choices, you know, style choices. They chose one to build, but all the stuff is just super high-end cabinetry, all designed to, you know, stay closed, you know, as you're driving down the road. And then again, you have the either porcelain or marble type flooring, and none of this stuff breaks or cracks or falls apart. From what I understand, you do have some maintenance to deal with some of the glues and stuff, so you want to make sure that these don't like sit outside. If it's sitting outside, you would control, to make sure that they're and they have proper temp. Mike's all stocked up. His fridge and freezer is all set up with stuff, and so he's been able to cook on the cooktop, microwave. It's it's been awesome. And then we have the Wi-Fi set up on the house out the side there, and so we're able to sit here and just kind of watch on our laptops, because since these are 06 machines, they need some updating from, unless you want to watch it a formal DVD. But shades, all power shades. This one also has the pop outs as well that extend the size of both this and the master or the main bedroom. But tell me this isn't freaking cool to be living the dream. And I'm telling you, right there is, I open that garage door and I'm out there jamming out the music and dropping weights, and I can't even hear it. They're drifting right down the way here, a few hundred yards away. Silent, beautiful, magical. And we haven't, again, messed with any of the AV stuff. I can't imagine like some of the brand new ones. You spend, $2-3 million on it, and how sophisticated they are now with navigation and all that kind of stuff. But it's been such a cool experience getting to learn about these. I don't think it's on my to own list in the future. But if I do more projects like this, imagine having something like this. You could just have somebody, drive it up to wherever you're going, and I could stay on site. It'd be pretty neat, pretty cool. 500 grand for this sucker. Maybe I should buy it and change the style a little bit. The problem is everything you do on a Prevost is like $100,000 to change, Everything is crazy expensive, because it is a high-end luxury home on wheels. Pretty wild. So anyway, that's what I wanted. That's what I know in the last month staying in these. Thought maybe it'd be kind of interesting to make a video and share from a lay person's perspective. This one has the same thing. We have the tanks on the side that we've been filling with water and dumping the gray, and just making the best of a really hard project that you guys have been watching, and hopefully you'll continue to consider, following what we're up to in the future. And maybe someone will buy this from Dave and make me look good. So hit me up, matt@obsessedgarage.com. I'll connect you with Dave if you want a sweet deal on a Prevost coach. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.